Like half of the stuff that I end up cutting out is just me drinking. It's really boring, and I hear myself drink, and I'm like, vape niche. I'm a human being. I'm a human being. Okay, yeah, this is a serious video full of serious topics, and yeah, subscribe to my channel. Hi, welcome back, I guess, or welcome. I don't know. I never know how to start a video. One day I'll start a video and be like, "Hi, this is Noodle Pixxie. Welcome to my YouTube channel." And everything will look really professional and it will sound really professional. But that day isn't today, so just, you know, enjoy my wonderful setup of flags, which may or may not be getting bigger if you saw the poll on my Twitter. So today I decided, well, I decided yesterday, but that doesn't matter. Why am I explaining this to anybody? Nobody cares. I had a message off somebody the other day, and I won't tell you who they are, obviously, because, you know, anonymity. How do you say that word? Anonym. I feel like that fish in Finding Nemo that can't say anonymous. I can't say that word either. Anonymity. Wait, was that Nemo? I think that was Nemo. Whatever. How do you say it? Anonymous.
Yeah.
Anonymous.
Anonymous.
I'm going to keep this person anonymous because it's important. And I can't say the fucking word. Anonymity.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't sound right when I say it. It doesn't sound like
It
a real word.
right. Yeah, it sounds right, but I think it is.
Anonymity.
Wait, Google.
Yeah, Google it. Literally.
Anonymity.
Sorry?
Wait.
Anonymity. Even Google can't say it properly. Anonymity. 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 Okay, so yeah, I had a message from somebody on Instagram the other day, and for the sakes of their own privacy, I am not going to tell you who they are. They know who they are, and yeah, cool. So they are the inspiration for this video, and it's like it's a big, complicated, scary world when you come out as trans, when you start realizing a lot of things, and you've got, like, without sounding like some kind of annoying, like, cliche, it's fuck, I can't words. That was a terrible way to start all of this. Dysphoria sucks, and when you come out as trans, you start realizing just how bad dysphoria is. And especially in the beginning, you have absolutely no idea how to actually deal with dysphoria, because it doesn't exactly, like, you don't come out as trans and then you get, like, in the mail a fucking how to deal with being trans toolkit. So I'm going to try and make you a little how to deal with being trans toolkit, because I wish somebody gave that to me when I was early in transition, and I think people could benefit, I guess. And I also feel like I actually know this. Like, I kind of know this. I feel like I kind of have my dysphoria under control. I mean, sometimes, yeah, I have terrible days. Everybody has terrible days. Like, you wake up one day and for some reason something about your appearance is just pissing you off, or something about your voice is pissing you off. So, you know, I'm here to be some kind of stopgap between, like, not knowing anything and the GIC. The GIC, I'm gonna keep using the acronym, by the way. It stands for Gender Identity Clinic. It's what we have in this country. And because it's funded by the NHS, it is slow. Really, really slow. Last time I had a phone call from them, they have this automated line where they tell you the waiting times basically, and I swear it was something like 36 months, which is 3 years. Yeah, 3 years they expect you to wait while you're, figuring stuff out. So you've got like a lot of things that you can be doing in those 3 years that will help you when you finally get your appointment from them. So I'm here to help, I guess. I don't know. So early in transition, the first couple of things that I focused on was picking a name. I spoke about this briefly in a different video, but basically, me and my friend at the time went through about, God, I reckon we got like 60 names or something stupid. Wrote them all down and then basically rated them in whatever way we saw fit. So do that. Get a name. Get used to the name. Get people speaking to you in that name, because otherwise it won't feel right, because no new name feels right. So like, say you're 25 and you've heard your birth name for 25 years, it's not going to feel normal just because you find the right name. Like, I found the right name and it didn't feel normal for like 2 years after. So, find a name. It doesn't matter how out there it is. It doesn't matter how like common or uncommon the name is. Doesn't like none of this matters as much as you think that it does, because you proper overanalyze the entire situation. Like, you proper overthink on a lot of things that don't necessarily matter as much as you think. So pick a name. Do that. Pick, like, think about a name. You've probably thought about a name while I'm talking, and that's probably the name that you need to choose. Believe it or not, it's actually kind of easy to change your name. You can essentially just Google change of name deed and then pay a little bit of money, and then voila, it's changed. It's legally changed. No company can yell at you for changing your name. As long as you give them the correct documents and stuff like that, you can have everything changed nice and legally, and nobody can say anything to you. And if they do, they're being transphobic assholes. And that's not a good look for their company, especially not now when LGBTQ politics is as out there as it is. So yeah, defo, think of your name, change your name. It's so important, but it's like, it's intrinsic to your new identity, because you're going to be crafting a new identity, right? Because you don't want to be the person that you were. You want to be a version of who you were before. You don't want to completely change who you are, because nobody changes exactly like who they are. But like, I'm not who I was when I was birth name, I hope that makes sense. The GIC, you have to get on their waiting list, and you have to do your referrals and stuff like that. And yeah, I know we're in some kind of annoying situation with Corona doing its thing, but like, that doesn't mean you can't go to your doctor and get your referral sorted, because it's freaking important. So make sure you're on that waiting list. This isn't going to fix your dysphoria. This isn't going to take any of it away. And, this is just an important step that you have to take, because when you get to your appointments, when you see the psychiatrist for the first time, they will ask you the steps you've taken. You need to be taking steps, basically, because if you're not taking steps for whatever reason, they will prolong how long you're with them. And I took quite some time taking steps, and they were so slow with my referral. Like, I'm only getting my reassignment surgery this year. I think I was on their waiting list for a year, and then I've been seeing them for another 7. So, like, that's a really long time, and that's partially due to how slow I had everything sorted. And I definitely regret that, but it was mostly down to my situation, because my situation wasn't exactly trans accepting. So that kind of sucks. But like, and that brings me to my next point, which is make sure you are out to the people you live with or you are in close proximity with. Because if you're not out to these people, this is going to feel very bad for you. This is going to be very, very uncomfortable for you, because you won't be able to do half of the things that you need to be doing. I was out. Like, I came out before. Oh, excuse me. I I was out, and then I put my referral through. It didn't make anything easy because I was growing up in a transphobic household. So, I'm a terrible example, but you need to be out. You need to have come out to the people in your life, because you might actually be surrounded by some people who are a lot more accepting than you think they are. And they need to also start accepting this like you do. So it's taken my family, God, like the whole time I've been going through transition, it's taken them that entire time to even comprehend what I mean when I say it. Like, they've only just sort of started coming around to it. Like, in the beginning, they were dreadful, like, just the worst. But you kind of, it sounds really bad when I say it, but like, I kind of had to accept that's who they were, and I couldn't get out of my home situation. So I had to accept that these people were not going to be good. And I'm glad I just kept going, to be honest, because if I didn't keep going and if I listened to half of the things that they said, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Like, I wouldn't be talking to you like now, because I don't know. You can't like, it's like what I said in my last video. You can't hold yourself back for the sake of somebody else. It's not fair on you, and it will make you feel like absolute crap. So you need to be out for yourself, and you need to be out for other people, so you can build up a support network, because hopefully you have a support network. And if you don't have a support network, go and get one. Like, it's easier said than done, but like, the internet is there. It's a thing. There are a lot of supportive people on the internet. There are whole corners of the internet dedicated to finding support networks, finding friends and stuff like that. Like, make sure you do that. It's freaking important. Okay. Clothing. We're going to get onto some things to help lessen dysphoria now. And a lot of these are going to feel weird to start off with, because this is part of getting used to everything that you're doing. But clothing that affirms who you are, and this takes experimentation, and you have to know that you're going to buy a load of stuff, you're going to try on a load of stuff that feels weird, may look weird, but it looks and feels weird because you're not used to it. And I hope that makes sense. Like, it took me a really long time to like find a style that suited me. I don't know why it took me as long as it did, but style takes ages. I've kind of treated it like I was going through my own like second puberty. So like, when you're an adolescent, or like a teenager, as more people commonly call it, um, you have those like phases where you looked a bit weird. Like everyone jokes about like the like 14-year-olds looking as like, I don't know what the word is, but you know what I mean. And if you don't, I don't know, sucks to be you. Um, so yeah, find some clothing websites, some outfit inspiration. Like, not everyone's gonna have the same inspiration. So, you know, I could turn around to you and say, I really like this one particular person because I love people who dress like alternative, goth, emo. I love that. I have always been like totally vibing with that. So when I started finding my own sense of style, I took that as my inspiration. You might not feel that. You might be a lot more girly, a lot more floral dresses or whatever, and that doesn't matter. Like don't think bad of yourself because you're not dressing the same way as somebody else or whatever. Like what you're trying to do right now is craft an entirely new, like non-muted sense of self. And that's what helps with the dysphoria. You have to create a new version of yourself because let's face it, up until this point, you have been muting yourself. You have been suppressing parts of your psyche that make you feel good. And you have to figure out what it is that makes you feel good. Find cute clothes, basically. There's no right way or wrong way to do this. Just find something. Most clothes, most websites or shops have really good return policies anyway. So as long as you don't completely ruin something that you were wearing, like you can just send it back or take it back or whatever. And obviously, the best thing about it right now is a lot of shops aren't even open, so you don't have to worry about going into a shop and having the anxiety of being in the section of of a shop that you're like that you would have been uncomfortable with. You can just go online and order things, and nobody needs to know. But on that note, actually, you need to become comfortable going to a shop and being in the gendered areas of that shop. So, like, when I was early in transition, I would always take a friend with me to make me feel better about the fact that I was not in the male section anymore. I was in the female section because there's nothing weird about it, but you feel weird. Like, you feel everyone is watching you. But I am coming to tell you no one cares. There's 100 million reasons why a person maybe not presenting as female as they want to be is in the women's section, and at the end of the day it's nobody's business. So maybe take a friend so you can build up a level of comfort, and then eventually you'll just be in the shop by yourself buying clothes, because this like getting through dysphoric thoughts, you have to have somebody helping you to start off with. It's very helpful. You don't have to, but like, you know, I said what I said. I find it very, very helpful. I think you will too. And if you don't have anyone, then online shopping exists. And yeah, so try that. I'm going to shut up about clothes now, but it's important, you know. Make some outfit inspiration boards and try and get something like that. That's a good idea, actually. Make a Pinterest and get some outfit inspiration from Pinterest. I have like in my notes, I have a section that says other YouTubers, and I think I was supposed to recommend you other YouTubers. but I don't know any others. I mean, there probably is like a million trans YouTubers, but I don't know any of them. Whoops. So we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that section. The only YouTuber you need to be watching for trans tips is me. Like, I'm the only one. There's no other trans YouTuber. It's just me. Just me by myself. Um, talk to other trans people because I don't know. I say because a lot. I'm so overly critical of every single fucking word I say. It's actually exhausting. Um, talk to other trans people because it's helpful to find support out there, and nobody knows what you're going through like another trans person. Like, you can find a friend who's super supportive and they could be like the best friend basically ever, but like they still don't know what you mean. Unless they are trans themselves, they don't know what you mean when you say a lot of these things. Like, they can have like a similar idea as to what's going on, but like they don't know what's actually happening. So, in your area, I can almost 100% guarantee you there is a group of people who meet to talk about these sorts of things. I think there were two in my area, and I thought that there would be no groups in my area. So that was a nice surprise. The trans group is called Chrysalis. I will link their website in the description because they're actually a really good organization. I was with them for a few years, but for a couple of years, I think, like really early on in my transition, and they were a little bit baby back then. By that I mean like they were a new company, a new charity, or whatever it is they are. But now they're very good, and I feel like they might spread further than just the south of England. So I don't know, but basically, yeah, there's a group of trans people organizing meetups in your area, and you'll be surprised. There was another one called Breakout, but that's for more LGBTQ youth. So if you're a bit, if I think if you're over 25, you can't join something like that. Not that you'd want to anyway, because there's a lot of teenagers there, and that just it's not the right vibe, unless you're a kid, obviously. But yeah, Breakout was good. I joined Breakout and sort of started figuring out everything, and then left when I was just like a bit too old. Um, so yeah, go and find some other people to talk to because you won't regret that. I don't think you'll make friends. Like, they'll know the things that you're struggling with, and you know it's a nice addition to your support network to have a place to go where you can say whatever it is you want to say without fear of judgment from anybody because they feel you, you know? I think I want to highlight how important all of these steps are because I've seen some trans people not take any of these steps and then feel like absolute dog shit, you know? And I know sometimes, yeah, your mental health gets in the way, and sometimes you are having one of those days where you're just like really, really depressed. But like, the more you do all of these things, the better you're going to feel in the long run because there's the whole crux of this video was supposed to be helping you deal with your dysphoria. And I've barely even talked about dysphoria as a whole because all of these things contribute to helping you live with it because it's not going anywhere. So, like, you have to live with it. You can't just be like, oh, one day I'll have been on estrogen for 5 years and I just won't have dysphoria. As as far as I'm aware, dysphoria doesn't go away, and you have to come to terms with that. And doing these things, really, really helps. Going and having makeovers, getting your hair done, having your nails done, your eyebrows done, all like the whole shebang really, really helps. And if you're not doing any of those things, this has become very MTF centric, but that's where my experience is coming from, I guess. So if you don't do any of those things, then you're gonna be putting yourself in this emotional position where your life feels weird because you're not affirming yourself, you're not affirming your own gender, and you need to be doing that. Which is why I did this video. So I don't know, I hope it helped. I need to stop doing that. I always do that. I hope it helped. They sound superficial. Everything that I've said probably sounds superficial. It probably sounds like, oh, that's not going to do very much. It'll only help me one day. Well, like, no, if you keep doing it, it'll help. Oh, one last thing, actually. Tucking is a thing. I recommend if you are going to tuck, you research the proper ways to do it. And don't just pick up any old tape. Use proper medical tape. Use medical things that won't cause irritation and stuff like that. And make sure, everything feels comfortable, because otherwise you're going to spend your entire friggin' day with this awful feeling and sensation downstairs, and you don't want that. Same with packing, but packing doesn't have the same kind of discomfort because you're not actively moving something out of the way. But so yeah, do that, research it, please. Otherwise you will have kind of a really irritable area. I think that's how I'm going to put this. I love how I'm censoring myself when I'm talking about downstairs, but I'll swear like there's no tomorrow. But can't talk about peepees. But yeah, if you want to discuss any of these things with me, go for it. I'm totally open to discussion. And if future Pixxie is clever and helpful, she will even remember to put some links in the description so you guys can see some tips or whatever, or some helpful links maybe to the deed poll section thingy. I know what I mean. Yeah, so check the description for exciting information. I'm going to do that thing that I do where I put my social media on the screen and it looks really, really cool and professional. And if you really you could, like the video. That would be fucking amazing. Comments are always appreciated because I love to read your comments. And yes, subscribe. Subscribing is also pretty great. I am hoping to hit 50 fairly soon. And just FYI, for those of you watching, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Twitch, I will turn you into a sim. Because, yeah, who doesn't want to be a sim? And if you unsubscribe at any point and I find out, I'll kill your sim. Which doesn't sound even slightly barbaric. What do you mean? It's not barbaric at all. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. You guys are going to like the video, you're going to comment, you're going to subscribe. And I just hope you've had I hope you have a nice day. I hope that you see a nice dog or a cat or a turtle. I don't know, I'm talking shit. I never know how to end videos. I never know how to start videos or end them, but I can talk for England. So I'm a pro. Okay. I love you guys so, so, so much. I hope this video is helpful. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Be good, drink water, and tell somebody that you love them. I love you. Bye.